class, and welcome to Math Minutes video number 24. Get your notebooks out, turn to page 39, and we're going to start looking at the slope-intercept formula, y equals mx plus b. This is critical for Algebra 1, and you will get tired of hearing me say y equals mx plus b, but you gotta know it. So let's take a look. Page 39. This is what it is, the slope-intercept form. Few little facts you need to know. The m stands for the slope. Now we just did that in the previous lesson. A slope is how much a linear equation, how much that line is going to slant on a graph. That number is represented in this formula by the letter m. Y-intercept. The intercept is like the intersection, right? Where a line crosses the y-axis, and that is represented in this formula as the letter b. To graph a line from an equation in slope-intercept form, it's just a few steps. First thing we're going to do is plot the y-intercept on the y-axis. Well, it's like we're going to start at the end. So the first thing we do is look at the very last number, because that's b. That's where it's going to cross the y-intercept. Then we're going to mark a second point using the slope information, which is the number in the m position in the form of y equals mx plus b. So let's take a look at our example. We have an equation y equals 2x plus 3. Well, let's look at what this is. What number here matches? Here's m, all right? So in this case, 2. So what does that mean? This is our m. That means we have a slope of 2. What's the number at the back here is 3. Well, if you look at our formula, that's what b is. B is where it crosses the y-intercept. So start by marking the y-intercept, which is the number what? We just looked at it. It's the number 3. Well, the y-intercept, our y-axis, is the one that goes up and down. So we're going to mark it at a positive 3, which means from our origin, we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to put a dot there. We're not doing a coordinate, so we're just going to put our dot right there. Then from this point, we're going to use the slope, which is 2, to plot the second point. So when we have a slope of 2, and we'll go over this again also in more detail, it means we're going to go up 2 and to the right 1. Lastly, we connect those 2 points and we've drawn our line. So this equation, y equals 2x plus 3, looks like that. Turn to page 40, and we're going to take a look at something called rise and run. And that's how I knew how to graph that slope of 2. We have to understand rise over run. So take a look at page 40. Here's our fraction. Rise is the y-axis, how much it goes up or down. Positive numbers will go up, negative numbers will go down. So every slope needs 2 parts, a rise and a run. The rise is the y-axis. Rise, air is rising or something is sinking. The run is the x-axis. Think about if you're running on a surface, it's easiest to run. You're going horizontal. You're not going to run straight up vertically. And again, positives to the right, negatives to the left. So the 2 exceptions to this are zero slopes and slopes that are, what's the other kind? We have positive slopes, we have negative slopes, we have a slope with a 0, that's a horizontal line. The other is undefined. So in the previous example, we had our equation y equals 2x plus 3. The slope is 2. Every whole number can be made into a fraction by making 1 its denominator. So this is how I knew how to move when I graphed that example. My 2 is going to become 2 over 1. So now it has a rise, because to be able to plot a slope, we need both elements. We need a rise and a run together. So now our rise is 2 and our run is 1, because remember, every slope needs those two parts. I kind of like just said that. I should have been reading. From your starting point, count up 2. Because it's a positive number, we're going up. And to the right 1. Because it's also a positive number, we move to the right. And then place your point at that new coordinate. And that is what I did on our previous example. I plotted 3, and what did I do for that slope, which is now 2 over 1? From this point, not from the origin. From this point, I went up 2 and to the right 1. At the bottom of page 40, let's do some practicing. Slope 3 becomes what? It becomes 3 over 1. What are you going to do first? You're going to move up 3, and then what? You're going to move to the right 1. So we always are going to do our numerator first. That's our rise, up or down. Slope -2 becomes -2, and let's put a 1 underneath it. What does that mean? Negative number means I'm going to move down, how many? 2. And now what do I do for my run? This one is positive, so I'm going to go again. I'm going to go to the right 1. How about a slope of 1/2? Well, what does it become? Well, it stays. I don't have to do anything. When I have a fraction form, if my slope is already a fraction, my work is done. I don't have to do anything to it. I'm just going to read these numbers and follow the directions. So what does it mean I'm going to do first is I'm going to go up 1 because it's a positive number, and then I'm going to go to the right 1 because that is also a positive number. Okay, if you turn to page 41, we're going to do some practicing by plotting lines on a graph, looking at our slope-intercept form, which is what? It is y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, b is where that line intersects the y-axis. Here's our equation. I don't have to do any XY tables. I don't have to do any calculations at all. If I know how to read this form, I'm going to draw lines. Where do I start? Not at the beginning. I'm going to start at the end. I'm going to start with my b value, which here is a positive 2. From my origin, I'm going to go up 2. I know these graphs are tiny, but you can do it. What's my slope? My slope is 3. Can I do anything with that? I have to have 2 parts. So my slope is going to become 3 over 1. What does that mean? From my starting point, I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. And then I simply connect those points, and I have my line. Number 2, start at the end, plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slope, -2. Where's my second part? Let's just stick a 1 underneath it. From this point, what do I do? -2 means I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2, but my 1 is positive, so I'm going to go to the right. And then I'm going to connect those 2 lines. And let's look at something. This was a positive number. That gave me a line sloping up to the right. That's kind of one way to check if I've done things right. Look at this one. It had a negative slope, -2. And look at the shape. Look at how that line turned out. It's going up and to the left. That's another little visual check. I think I'm on the right track here. Let's take a look at number 3. Start at the end. -5. So this time from my origin, I'm going to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is where it intercepts my y-axis. Let's look at my slope. -1/4. Let's write it this way. What am I going to do? Well, from this point, I'm going to go down 1 because it's a negative number, and I'm going to go to the right, because that's a positive number, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect my 2 points, and I have my line. Again, it's negative and it's sloping up to the left. It's a little flatter than this one, but it's still up and to the left. Number 4, start at the end. -3. 1, 2, 3. Slope is 2. I need something. I need to put a 1 underneath it. From this point, I'm going to go up 2, to the right 1, and there is my line. Positive slope going up to the right. Our last example together. Start at the end. +1. Put my point right there. What's my slope? 2/3. 2/3. Do I have to do anything? No, I already have my rise and I have my run. I've got my 2 pieces. I'm ready to fly. Up 2 because it's a positive number. 1, 2. To the right 3 because that's a positive number. 1, 2, 3. Connect them, and there is my line. Positive number, positive slope, line going up and to the right. Be sure and bring your completed notebooks to class for full credit, and I will look forward to seeing you there, where I will again drill into your head y = mx + b. I'll see you in class.